So when I saw this, just felt compelled to put a little something together. This post is on Instagram from Keep Tahoe Blue, and it says, over the course of just 3 hours on the morning of July 5th, 402 volunteers cleaned up over 8,500 pounds of litter left from the 4th of July celebrations at Lake Tahoe. Cigarette butts, plastic food wrappers, beach toys, and even barbecues were plucked from 6 popular beaches, as well as nearby parking lots and streets around the Tahoe Basin. Several of the sites were litter-free, including Commons Beach in Tahoe City and Kings Beach State Recreation Area, showing the impact that trash cans, restrooms, and management staff can have to prevent pollution. And I also know there was definitely divers involved as well, close off many of these beaches that had so much of the trash. A lot of that was in the water, so they did have divers out collecting stuff in the depths of the lake as well. I'm not sure how deep they had to go, but they were doing that.
One of the things that I've heard thrown around is that there just wasn't enough trash bins available. And I do think from what I've heard is that a lot of the ones that are bear-proof and have the latching lids on top were overflowing, so there wasn't just any place to put it. But I think there's also something to be said that people just were being lazy as well and just not willing to carry anything out at all.
So here are a few more photos that Keep Tahoe Blue have posted, and I just wanted to give a shout out in this part of the video to my father-in-law Ed, who does work for the Forest Service and was part of the active part of cleaning up after this 4th of July event, which is just, again, crazy to me. So here we go. So again, here's a picture of someone who's doing the diving, getting the stuff that was either washed in the lake, or people were actively just standing in the lake and dropping it in the lake. I mean, it just boggles my mind. Again, here's one of the tents that I was talking about, where people, they were clearly, it was nothing about a trash bin being available. They just left their tents. So I do think, for consideration, if I was involved in this, I would consider putting short-term trash bins on the beach that then would make it easier for volunteers to come in the next day to pull out those trash bins. I know it's not a long-term solution, but at least for the one day, that could be an option. And again, they really did such an amazing job. It really just gets hard to watch as we keep going.
And there are many organizations working really hard to keep the lake as clean as possible. Many people know Keep Tahoe Blue, which is where the photos are from that I posted. And then there's the League to Save Lake Tahoe, and then Clean Up Lake Tahoe. Now, one of the reasons why I've seen posted that it's really hard to keep control of the whole lake is that it goes between 2 states, it goes between counties, it goes between multiple cities, and so I think the organization and coordination is really challenging across many layers of those type of organizations. So I don't know, it just seems like what's the answer to solve this problem, because that is unacceptable. I mean, they are stating up to I believe 83 or 8,400 pounds of trash pulled, and just 6,300 pounds from the Zephyr Cove beach itself. And when I heard what was going on and when I heard what the organizations were doing on the 5th, I really wanted to be out there and help, but unfortunately I had a 10-hour work day, and I really am thankful for all the work that these organizations are doing to keep the beaches clean. But in the long run, this just cannot be the solution to this problem that always on July 5th, we're going out and they're going to spend the whole day or 3/4 of a day or a couple days cleaning up all the trash. So again, it's a very complicated situation, but man, I just wanted to bring a little bit of awareness to it. I feel like I also needed a little bit of context about this situation because I have not been a long-term local here. So I did speak with some of my colleagues today about the situation, and they said by far this is the worst that they've ever seen it. And it's just, yeah, they're having the same, it's always been a problem, but they're having the same concerns about how bad it was this year versus any other year as well. So it wasn't just me that had the same feeling about it. So then I guess the next question is, what can we do about it? And again, I think a lot of the bigger organizations are working on that and working within the cities and counties and organizations, including the Forest Service, to try to come up with a better plan for the next year. I think on a personal standpoint, it's just when you do see trash, if you can, try to pick it up, take it out. Obviously, if you are visiting these areas, just pack it in, pack it out. Very simple rule that I was taught with any sort of backcountry or even day hiking or beach experience. So I know my videos are usually upbeat and usually a nice way to get away from some of the things of the real world, but it just felt like I had to show this and talk about it. So anyway, I'll show you a little bit of Penny and I's run this morning to lighten things up a bit. So thanks for watching, and if you have any ideas or thoughts about what the solution to the problem might be or part of the solution might be, just let us know in the comments. I know there's not necessarily going to be one right or wrong answer, but let me know what you're thinking.